What happens when payment executives, enterprise cloud architects, wealth strategists, and Web3 operators sit in the same room? Denver found out. Ray Fuentes here. We hosted our XRP Meetup at the Hyatt Centric Downtown Denver, bringing together builders, investors, developers, and institutional operators focused on the forward trajectory of global finance. This wasn't a casual meetup. This was infrastructure-level conversation featuring 3 speaking panels. Panel number 1 focused on tokenization and AI transformation. The panel bridged payments, enterprise cloud, and blockchain infrastructure. Nathan Mahoney, Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer at TreveTech, a former U.S. Marine Corps officer and helicopter pilot turned fintech strategist. Nathan made one statement that anchored the entire evening. The real currency is trust, and we'll know we've won the moment we walk up to a register, pull out our phone, tap to pay, and it simply goes beep. No friction, no hesitation, just adoption. Nathan spoke from his experience scaling payment-grade bill pay systems for banks and fintechs, emphasizing that adoption won't be driven by hype, it'll be driven by reliability and trust. Dave Goodman, board member at Web3 Industries, a U.S. Navy veteran and former IBM executive who co-invented 6 U.S. cloud patents and helped design IBM's enterprise cloud portfolio. His perspective, legacy institutions will adopt blockchain, that's for sure, but it's going to take a little bit longer than many expect. Enterprise transformation moves deliberately. John Wingett, founder and CEO of Bank Social. John projected accelerated crypto adoption in the industry. He believes the flip of the switch moment could occur in the next 6 to 12 months, once major players begin accepting crypto transactions. His perspective, urgency versus institutional pacing, sparked one of the most powerful discussions of the night. Will Carr, one of the most refreshing moments of the night. Moderator Will Carr made it clear he's more bullish on humanity than he is on crypto because technology is only as powerful as the people using it. Panel number 2 centered around wealth building and Web3. This panel focused on disciplined capital allocation, featuring Nolan Gibson and his structured operations mindset from 20 years in the U.S. Air Force. Kaylin Ko, who focuses on portfolio construction and risk-adjusted digital asset strategies. Abs Nassif of Good Evening Crypto, one of the most accomplished and energetic 28-year-olds I know, who's the best at ecosystem research and macro awareness. And Aaron Fries, who brought regulatory-grade insight and a deep understanding for infrastructure architecture. The theme of the panel was clear. Wealth in Web3 won't be built emotionally, it's going to be built systematically. And panel number 3, the future of finance, headlined by myself and the one and only Jake Claver, chairman of Digital Ascension Group. Jake presented his Domino Theory, and when he asked who had heard of his theory, every hand in the room went up.
Just by a show of hands, who's actually listened to my Domino Theory?
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
The theory is simple. When pressure builds in one part of the global financial system, the effects don't stay isolated. Japan's rising interest rates, for example, are already impacting the yen carry trade. When capital shifts at that level, liquidity moves, so markets react and institutions adjust. And the same principles apply to digital assets. And when one major institution adopts, the rest don't ignore it. They follow in sequence, not out of hype, but out of competition, out of necessity. That's how systematic shifts happen. One moves, then another, then the dominoes fall. At our XRP Meetup, a major announcement took place, a defining moment. Jake made a leadership announcement he hadn't shared anywhere else. He officially elevated Aaron Fries to CEO of Digital Ascension Group, where he'll be the acting chairman of the board. It wasn't just a title change, it was a strategic evolution, a signal of growth, a signal of scale, a signal that the next chapter requires operational precision at the highest level. Leadership transitions don't happen by accident, they happen by design. And this one marked a new phase for Digital Ascension Group. This marks a strategic evolution, positioning the firm for expanded institutional engagement under Aaron's operational leadership and regulatory expertise. And we have to give our sponsor recognition. This event was made possible by our title sponsor, Digital Ascension Group, and our supporting sponsors, Liquid Acre, XRPL Commons, Ripple Labs, W3 SaaS. And to show our appreciation to our title sponsor, Digital Ascension Group, we created a compelling video. If you're paying attention to where private capital, digital assets, and next-generation financial infrastructure are headed, you should know about Digital Ascension Group, or at least heard of their world-renowned CEO Jake Claver. Digital Ascension Group is the parent company of Digital Wealth Partners, DWP, and together, they're focused on unlocking real utility for digital assets like XRP, Bitcoin, and beyond. Not just holding them, but putting them to work through structured, compliant investment vehicles. DWP builds institutional-grade confidence by combining rigorous fiduciary oversight with best-in-class infrastructure, compliance, and governance. A key part of that foundation is through a relationship with Anchorage Digital, which provides qualified regulated digital asset custody used by leading institutions. In the last few months, DWP has been diversifying its offerings. They launched an algorithmic trading strategy powered by Arch Public, designed for investors seeking growth and cash flow from digital asset holdings inside of retirement accounts. And they selected 2Prime to manage approximately $250 million in Bitcoin through a separately managed account, reflecting growing institutional demand for low volatility Bitcoin-denominated returns supported by transparent risk management. By bridging traditional finance with blockchain-native assets, the company enables access to yield, diversification, and private market exposure, while maintaining alignment with long-term digital asset conviction. Overall, DWP has experienced unprecedented demand for professionally structured, risk-managed access to digital assets in a maturing market. In fact, DWP is one of the fastest-growing registered investment advisors, RIAs, globally. Behind it all is a team with deep experience across private equity, venture capital, digital assets, and capital formation, focused on discipline, compliance, and real-world adoption, not hype cycles. If you're looking to understand where finance is going and how digital assets fit into that future, Digital Ascension Group is worth paying attention to. Scan the QR code on the screen to learn more about Digital Ascension Group and the mission they're building towards. Denver wasn't just a meetup, it was a signal: trust, infrastructure, and community. The next 6 to 12 months may accelerate adoption, but the long-term winners, they'll be the ones who build correctly, deliberately, and with discipline. The world's changing, and it's changing fast. Make sure you tune into each of the speaking panels from the meetup. The conversations we had in that room matter. So stay close, stay building, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho.